So, Dak, what
What's
a final. Oh, mate, how are you?
It's alright, mate. Alright, mate.
Mrs. is
Alright.
away this weekend, you're on daddy duties.
I know, but I'm glad, mate, 'cause I had a
How was,
mayhem last
how was
weekend.
Prague? Don't incriminate
But,
yourself, but how was it?
mate, I was at steaming you I would have thought I was in Prague, but I was in Krakow, mate.
There you go then.
Mate, I swear, the least said the better, mate. It was absolute bonkers from start to finish.
I've got Krakow in September for a wee tiny stag do.
I would tell you good places to go, but I've got no idea where I was all weekend. Telling you, mate.
Right, well, fuck it, we'll get right into it. Round up 18. As usual, our sponsor is Stuart Ventilation. The boys are brilliant. Go and check them out on Facebook. And see if you can give them a wee bit of business. That'd be lovely, and then they can give us more money. So, Junior Scottish Cup quarter-finals. Bells Hill 0, Glenafton 4, East Craigie 2, Shotts 1, Hurlford 1, Cumnock 2, Larkhall 1, Glencairn 2. Start with Hurlford and Cumnock. That was a big one for the two Premier League sides there.
Yeah.
It's a massive result, making into the semi-finals. I don't even know, is the draw been made for the semis yet? Do you know?
No, it's not made yet, mate. I don't know when they're making the draw, but it hasn't been done yet.
That's a good result for Cumnock. So kind of been off the boil a wee touch recently, so we'll be delighted with that win. I feel for, it's not really a surprise Glenafton beating Bells Hill quite comfortably at that. I feel for Bells Hill though, they've done really well to get to the quarterfinals. A team at their kind of level, and the fact they've had a hard year or two, it's a great achievement for them to even reach that stage.
Aye, mate, I think firstly on Cumnock, mate, brilliant. See the travelling they took, I think they took it with 4 buses or something down. I think I seen something where somebody from Hurlford commented it's one of probably the biggest support they've ever seen a club take down to their park. So hats off to them. The full village or toon is it a toon or a village? I don't know. Toon. Is it a toon? Sorry guys. But the full toons get right behind it, and they've went down and the team's delivered. I think they went 1-0 down, didn't they? Squib, good goal, Squib, I think, and then they've bounced back really well. So it gives them a semi-final to look forward to. And listen, that club's been crying out for a Scottish for years, because we went down like the old joke and all that. That's something that they talk about. But brilliant for Cumnock. Owen Glenafton, I expected it, but you always think because Bells Hill are at home, they can make the game a wee bit tighter than what it was. But Glenafton have scored a couple of early goals, mate. As soon as they've got the early goals, man, the game's deep. Do you know what I mean? Kind of knocks the stuffing out of Bells Hill, kind of gets quietens the crowd early. Do you know what I mean? They could make it a wee bit, try and make it a wee bit intimidating. So well done to Glenafton as well.
That was some attendance. I seen a picture for the Bells Hill game. What a crowd they had at it, man.
And that's what I mean. They would have went full expectation, the Bells Hill and that, and they would all go into it. But then Glenafton have came out the traps and silenced them early, and that's always the way you want when you're playing an away game in the cup, innit, man? You want to give the home team a mountain to climb, and then that just means you can pick them off in the break. So brilliant for Glenafton, mate.
Aye, Glencairn as well. Well done to them for making the semis. Hard lines for Larkhall. That's another one where team in the third division give a right good account of themselves, only losing 2-1. They'll obviously be disappointed with that, but Glencairn is a game that they should on paper be winning. But it's been a great run, like for Bells Hill, it's been a great run for Larkhall.
Aye, that was another one that looked a good crowd. Because I seen wee Jack McElveen, he showed a good bit of composure with the penalty, because it was getting quite frosty, you know what I mean, before he hit it, and he's done well, showing good composure, stuck it away and silenced the Larkhall crowd. But aye, that's a good result, because that's a tough place to go to. We've spoke previously about how many goals and the firepower that Larkhall's going, they've had home advantage. So great result for Glencairn, and they give themselves a great opportunity. Shotts have took a great support up to Dundee, East Craigie. Did you see that boys finish?
No, I literally haven't seen it.
PG, if you get a chance half the back of this, mate, look at East Craigie's, I think it might be their second goal, mate, volley, mate. Honestly, mate, it's unbelievable technique, mate.
It's a shame for Shotts. It'd have been nice for 4 West teams in the semis. I'm fairly confident that a West team will win it, but it'd have been nice to have the 4 in the semis. And Shotts is a team that no so long ago that they went and won a Scottish Cup. Was it 2012 they won it?
I won it under Tony, didn't he? Tony Mack.
So it's one of the ones that would have been nice to have seen them there. I'm seeing with Ali Martin on Wednesday, so I'll see what he says there.
He scored, but didn't he?
Did he?
If you looked into it,
No, mate, see, because I had that High Rocks yesterday, I've honestly been an absolute zombie since I finished.
All right, mate, I'll keep you right.
I appreciate it because I'm bust, man.
Aye, Ali scored, mate.
We'll move on to the Premier League. Talbot 2, Pollok 1, Clydebank 2, Petershill 1, Meda 3, Cambuslang 4, Kilwinning 2, Beith 3, Largs 5, Arthur 0, Troon 0, Rob Roy 2. Start with yourselves as always. Talbot bang on form now. Usually with a wee bit of an up and down start for Maxie. How was the game? It looked tight on paper anyway.
It was tight, mate. It was tight. Say Talbot were a better team in the first half. Don't think we created too much clear cut in the first half. Second half, Gaffer changed it up, changed the shape, and I think we looked a lot better, looked a lot more of a threat. I think we were the better side. We knocked the ball about better in the second half. They always looked a threat, in my opinion, on the counter because they brought Boylan on and all. And then we've got it back to one each, and you think we're in the ascendancy, and they've went up the part and scored probably when we've been in the ascendancy, and it's kind of knocked the stuffing out a wee bit. I'd say the piece of draw would have probably been a fair result. I think we shaded the second half, sorry, but at the same time, I don't think we created loads and loads. We didn't work Big Leishman as much as we probably have liked. They defend, but that's testament to them. They defended really well. And then I think I think they could have went down to 10 men and on the first half maybe. They said that wee Mason was on about him, and it was a punch, but it wasn't a punch. I've seen it back. It was like he's hit him with the arm when him and Burnsy are rolling about. There's a wee stramash on the flare. And he was already booked. I think could have maybe got another yellow because Burnsy's been booked. So if Burnsy's been booked for his part in it, then I think that he should have been booked. But the ref seemed to have booked the wrong person. So, but listen, I'm not clutching at straws. At the end of the day, Talbot have dug deep, what they always do. They've got the winner in a game where it's been tight and they could have dropped points. And listen, that's just typical Talbot. And listen, well done to them. I'm not going to sit here and make excuses up. I thought in spells we played well, we knocked the ball about well, but just in the end we've just came up short again, and it just seems to be fine margins now for us, mate. They don't seem to be quite gone for us. The rubbery green, I think in long spells we've done well and defended well, but we're just not quite getting that cutting edge up front or cutting edge in the final third.
That's the thing, it's going to take Maxi time. I mean, you look at the job we did at Rob Roy, did a tremendous job there with such limited resources, and it will take him time because ultimately there's a lot of quality in that side, but it's not his team yet. He's got to get his players and his ideas, which it's obviously very different in relative terms. But you look at, I was talking about it today to somebody, you look at Arteta had first season shocking at Arsenal, second season was decent. Now look at him top of league 5 points clear. Sometimes it just takes time. You need to give managers 2-3 years. That's what it's like sometimes.
I think I wouldn't want to spend too much time on it, but I think you're bang on. I think deserves time. I think he's going to get time anyway, and should get time to put his own plans in action. He can't just do it in 8 to 10 weeks. You know what I mean? He needs to get his own players in. Needs to get through his own pre-season and stuff like that. So I definitely think that time, but the problem is at Pollok, the expectations there to win every week, and we get that, you know what I mean? We know that, but at the same time we're trying to build, the gaffers try to build on things and work away really hard in the background to get his own plans in place. So listen, these things do take time, mate, but we need to keep winning games of football. We know that anyway. Do you know what I mean?
The Talbot are absolutely flying. I know. I mean, touched on it a couple of weeks ago. Start of the season, really poor start for them. They were struggling in terms of numbers at times. I was hearing for not that they weren't going to get an 11 out, but they were struggling in terms of the depth in their squad. they seem to be flying right under the radar. I don't know if because Davil are doing so well in the Scottish, there's a lot of, and quite rightly, a lot of publicity on them, and B, they're doing tremendously well at top of the league. There's a lot of kind of scope on them. Talbot are just doing what they do, and they came roaring right back. They win their games in hand, they go top of the league, you know what I mean? It's unbelievable how well they're doing. But moving on to top of the league, Beith beating Kilwinning 3-2. Tiff's first game at Kilwinning.
I think Tiff isn't taking charge until Monday, I think.
Yeah, mate, that's kind of fitting because I know fuck all about what's happened this weekend. But on Beith, Straney is doing a phenomenal job. That's 6 in the bounce for them in the league, I think it is. I would not have predicted this for Beith at the start of the year, I'm not going to lie to you. And it's nice to see a strong Beith team again, because I think the last few years they've kind of hovering about middle of the league, top half of the league, and I think they're a better side and a better club than it. So Straney and his team are doing very well at the moment. Josh Fowler absolutely flying now as well.
Yeah, flying, mate. One thing I'll say about Beith is that they've got good players, but see what the biggest thing about them is for playing against them. I think they seem a tight unit. You know what I mean? And I think that's worth its weight in gold. Do you know what I mean? The players all seem tight. They seem a good bunch together that all seem to want to roll their sleeves up and fight and dig for each other. And there's a togetherness there. Do you know what I mean? And as I said, that's worth its weight in gold, especially in these tight games when they've beat us 1-0 and then Saturday when they've won 3-2. That togetherness is what gets you through and gets you the 3 points. And listen, when you've got the goalies playing really well on Stott and you've got good defenders there, but when you've got somebody like wee Fowler up front that's going to score the goals, then no, just a van driving outside my house, mate. I hope they're not going to get sniped. No, and then you get somebody like Fowler who's always going to get you a goal and always looking afraid. And it's a good mix they've got, but they've done tremendously well and they deserve so much credit because I totally agree. At the start of the season, I knew Straney would have them well organised, but did I quite think that they were going to be up at the top of the league and challenging? No, I didn't. And they don't look like faltering either, to be fair play to them. So, they've done really well and deserve so much credit.
Yes. The thing is, see if you only know Straney through what you see.
I think he gets sent off.
It's not a surprise. That's
not a surprise. Maybe his team being top of the league's a surprise to people, but him getting sent off is not a surprise.
Well, see if you only have a perception of Straney when you see him on the park, outside the park. He's obviously, and he knows this himself, he's not a hugely liked guy by a lot of people. We've been fortunate enough, we've spent a wee bit of time in his company, and I like him, he's a nice guy. But what's clear is he did a great job at Kilwinning. I know things went a bit odd at the end and it wasn't necessarily just that one stuff. But he's clearly a good coach, clearly a good manager, and he's shown that again at Beith. He's doing a great job. But to touch on another club who are absolutely flying at the moment, it's Clydebank beating Petershill 2-1. I know Petershill had a really tough season. I mean, it's looking like there's almost no chance, in my opinion, unless they have a huge turnaround and staying up, because they've played like 7 games more than Kilwinning, you know what I mean? So they're so far behind in terms of games. But Clydebank, 5 wins at the last 6 in the league, got themselves into 5th place with a couple of games in hand on yourselves. They win the games in hand, they put themselves in a position where the top 3 is looking possible for them, and it's been quite the turnaround they've had in the last 6 weeks.
Aye, and I think Saturday they've probably not been at their best and they've won the game. And I'm going to ask you again, because I like just seeing you crumbling. Did you see the penalty now if it's crossed the line or not?
Never seen it, man. Not seen it anyway. I've not seen a thing.
The penalty, mate, if you get a chance to look, mate, there's footage of Nicky Little's penalty. McNeil saves it, and he saves it and it backspins, and the ref keys it behind the line. But there's a debate there if it's crossed the line or not. So a lot of the Petershill camp are giving it never crossed the line, and obviously the Clydebank camp are giving it did cross the line. I think it's like that one at the World Cup. There's so many different views coming from it and angles coming from it, where you show one angle and it looks as if it's nowhere near by the line, but then somebody's up the hill's got another view, and then it looks as if it's crossed the line. So, but tell you what, it was tight, mate, and listen, it's just a wee bits of the rubbery green bit that they get, and it was unfortunate for Petershill because that would have been a good point for them.
Mate, when you're saying different angles and felt behind that, all I could think about was the JFK conspiracy and the grassy knoll and that, and all these different angles, who shot
Well,
and stuff.
have you seen that? Aye, the grassy knoll. You've not seen nothing else this weekend.
Look, mate, I'm fucking right. I had a hard day yesterday, man.
No, I just don't know. It's a nice debate. I've been sitting looking at it on Twitter. To be honest with you, I've not made my own mind up because I've seen a couple of different views, but don't know. Maybe the goalie union in me will say I don't think it's behind the line, but that's just me just clutching at straws, mate. You know what I mean? I know some Clydebank fan will come at me for that.
Cambuslang beating the Meda. Great result for Cambuslang. That's 2 wins in a bounce for them. The Meda are kind of lost 3 of the last 5. They're dropped off after the great start they had when George came in. But again, full credit to Cambuslang going down to Meda Park and getting a 4-3 win.
I think that sounds like a great game, ding dong. I think that Cambuslang have been getting beat, and then they went in the lead, and then Meda have made a wee comeback towards the end as well. So great couple of weeks for Cambuslang, and they deserve some amount of credit. It was only a couple of weeks ago Palmberley took a team down to Talbot and they only get beat 3-1. They didn't have any subs and all that, mate, and he's managed to get a few players in as well, and they've took 6 points beating Arthurley and Meda, and they deserve a lot of credit, and I think that just shows you what they're all about and the character that they've got about them in their club. So really well done to Cambuslang. They've signed a couple of players as well, which is going to make them stronger. So it's looking up for Cambuslang. On Meda, I just think that Meda may be a wee bit similar to us now. I just think that they're maybe playing better, but they're playing all right, but they're just not getting the rubbery green, mate. They're just not getting that wee bit of luck when it comes, not I mean. So I wouldn't read too much into it for them. I think George and that are a good management team, and I think that it'll be a matter of time before they pick up points. You get big Cal Graham, Connor Boyd up front, they're going to score goals. The boy Kerr as well, do you know what I mean? So I think if they can just get back to keeping clean sheets, they've got experience here with Wharton and stuff, I think then it'll be a matter of time before they're picking the points up again.
I agree, mate, I agree. Before we move on, we'll touch on quickly. Great result for Largs, 5-0 at Arthur. I was a bit surprised when I saw that.
Brilliant, man. They've had a good couple of weeks.
Aye, definitely. Last time I was looking at their form, they picked up 10 points in the last. They picked up 10 points in the last 6 games. And see, to be honest, that kind of form for Largs, that keeps you safe. If you're doing that every 5-6 games, you're picking up 10 points. That kind of form definitely keeps you safe. And
I think it's a tremendous result for them, and
it's
not been a good couple of weeks for Arthurley, to be fair.
I know, you know what I mean. You know, like you're saying, after getting the draw with them, they're a hard team to beat, and they go and beat Darvel after being 2-0 down a few weeks ago. Definitely a tough team to beat.
Coming up with a late goal mind away, know what I mean? So Arnie's done, mate. You can't praise Arnie enough for the job he's done down there, to be fair.
Nah, definitely. Another one, Rob Roy beating Troon 2-0. Rob Roy had 4 defeats in a row, so that was nice for them to pick up some points. Troon, normally we talk about Troon being that under the radar type team, sitting 6th, 7th in the league. It's no so great for them this season. They've only picked up 4 points in the last 6 games. They're in a wee bit of a bad run now. They've got themselves in a position where relegation is looking like a possibility for them this season. They do have enough quality, in my opinion, to be able to keep themselves safe, but they're doing there with the likes of Rob Roy, Arthurley, Kilwinning and stuff at the moment, and I think it's something that they'd hope to be fixing.
Aye, I think that Rob Roy, firstly, that's a big 3 points. That's Goldie's first 3 points in charge, and that's a good 3 points. So I tell you what, Rob Roy, a good side mate team. I was impressed with them. They've got some good young players down there, and obviously I know a bit more about them now because of Maxie and Chris and Brian and that coming into Pollock. So I expect them to pick up the points, get some good players there, and that'll probably get them rolling. But Troon, I totally agree with what you're saying, man. Troon have got a lot better quality players and what they're showing, and they're just going through a tough wee time, but they're a decent side. I think any day they could turn up and they could turn somebody else. So I don't want to say too much. We play them next Wednesday, mate. So I think that I honestly I know quite a few other players as well, and they're very good, mate. So I can see them. I can see them getting a run of form at some point. I just don't want it to be next week, obviously.
Right, we'll move on to the first division. Bonnet 1, Donnywood 1, Cumbernauld 1, Whitlets 2, Drumchapel 3, Benburn 0, Gartcairn 0, Neilson 1, Rossfield 2, The Rock 1, St Cadoc's 0, Kilburney 3. And that's where we will start. That's a great result for Kilburney. That's 5 in the bounce for them. St Cadoc's are having a wee tough spell. I think that's the most 3 games out of the last 4, 2 out of the last 3 in the league. That's a huge result for Sean and his team. And
Great result.
To keep them in the hunt, because the Drum, I was at the Drum obviously Wednesday night against the Rock, and I genuinely was very impressed. Like, the Rock were off it a wee bit, and I don't think David would think I was speaking out of turn when I say that. The Rock weren't at their best. They had that wee spell where they put the Drum right under pressure and they scored a couple of goals. But at that, they weren't really at it. But the Drum were excellent, I thought. And they looked like they had another gear or two to go up. I mean, they were 3-0 up, went 3-2.
Yeah.
Scored the man sent off, went and scored another 3 goals. They were they were very, very good. And that's so for Kilburney to be able to keep the pressure on them and also chip away at St Cadoc's, who were looking like they were going to be the team to beat for a while there. It's a great result for them.
It's been a great couple of weeks for Kilburney. Gartcairn they beat with the late winner last week, and then now they've beaten St Cadoc's. So that's a tremendous week or two for Sean and everybody connected to Kilburney. Especially he won 3-0 away from home, keep a clean sheet. St Cadoc's have went out through the week, done a bit of business, into they get Darren Miller in, started the boy Jones that was on the bench. So they've went out and they've made some signings, and you think that's going to make St Cadoc's stronger as well. So for Kilburney to go down there, the boy Mackenzie getting a double, mate, it's a very good double. Had a wee look at the day, done really well. But brilliant couple of weeks for Kilburney. They've got themselves right back into the mix because of their recent form, mate.
War would do the thing with her. Talking on Mackenzie, we actually seen him a year ago today, mate. It was a year ago the day we went to
Mary Hill and Narfily.
And we both said that Mackenzie, even though Mary Hill wasn't great that day, we're like, Mackenzie, he looks a player.
Yeah. 3
last week, 2 this week. I said, so when Doyle took care of the St Cadoc's show, I was talking to him, and he's like, anybody you'd recommend? And I was like, the boy Mackenzie at Mary Hill's a right good player. I says he's maybe worth having a look at, and I don't know if he did have a look at him or no, but it's came back on him.
Listen, Sean will no thank you, mate. It's been pimping out his player, mate. Know what I mean? But he looks
Mark's player. I didn't pimp out.
Right, that's right. He looks as if he's enjoying his football, mate. And Kilburney keep rolling on, but on the Drum and all, mate, as you said, mate, they're absolute flying, mate. Honestly.
Aye, definitely. We'll go into that one now because the Bens have had a right good spell. We spoke about it a couple of weeks ago. After their Scottish Cup run finished, they kind of were slowly get going. They won 4 out of the last 5 and were drawn the other game. Really one of the important teams in the league. That's quite, without seeing the game, that's quite a convincing win for the Drum, 3-0. Tell you what, so that was the first time I saw Templeton the other night. He doesn't look like he's the type of player that's going to be charging about the park and doing hundreds and hundreds of running. What a player, but see for this level, just his feet. There was one right in front of us on Wednesday where he's dropped the shoulder, megged a boy, and then just ran away from him. It was class. But see, for me, Cal Victoria, that is going to be an absolutely massive signing for them. He was brilliant the other night, I thought Deasy at 35 was class the other night as well.
Aye, I think they've got players, mate, all right through their squad, mate, that are brilliant players, mate, and had good careers, whether it's been in the seniors or whether it's been good junior players over the years and that as well. So I think that hope he's got a good mix here. He's definitely added quality, man. When you've got that firepower, not I mean, it's always going to. I think that they're one of the teams I know that they've got that good mix going now. They're solid defensively, and they're scoring goals. You know what I mean? But even I think when they have an half day defensively, they've got that firepower to probably blow other teams out the water. So they're going to take some going. But tell you what, how good's that league, man? I was looking at it last night, and it's really tight, mate. And it's going to be some run, mate, right through to the end.
Nah, I agree, mate. Because young as you're looking at Drummer sitting top, now they've got a couple of games in hand. They're a point clear of Kilwinning. The way they're going, it's going to be hard to see anybody stopping them at this moment. But we thought that way Darvel 6-7 weeks ago, Beith have come in, the Talbot are coming back. But it's escaped me. You talk about our defence. I thought Big Dom McLaren, I thought he was really good.
Oh, good player, mate.
Yeah,
All plays every week, mate. He's so consistent, mate. He's an 8 out of 10, 7, 8 out of 10 every week. Do you know what I mean? So these are all good players, mate. They're all good players.
Aye, there's a lot of quality. On the league table, I've got it in front of me here. Drumchapel played 14 with 33 points. Kilwinning, 16 games played with 32. Gartcairn, 16 with 30. St Cadoc's 15 with 30. The Borough 17 with 27, the Bens 15 with 26. So that's when you're starting to kind of lose teams a wee touch. But on Gartcairn, he'll be really disappointed. 2 games in a row, they've lost. A tremendous result for Kev's Nielsen's team. I think that's excellent result for them. Going away to Gartcairn and get a 1-0 win.
Aye, that's a brilliant result for Kevin, and well done to him. Do you know what I mean? I think they've had a couple of disappointing results, but I think that just shows you, see, like a new manager comes in, it does take a few weeks for them to get in and get settled and find out what players is for him and maybe who's no for him in that, and find out shape wise what they're all about and what the players are suited to and stuff like that. So I think that's only going to breed confidence in that dressing room, and I think that's a brilliant result for Kevin and the Nielsen team.
I do agree. A huge result at the bottom end of the table. Whitlett's beaten Cumbernauld 2-1. They're sitting 5 points adrift just now, but they've got 6 games in hand on Rossvale, and they're 10 points behind Cumbernauld with 5 games in hand. Whitlett's are a better team, I think, than 7 points out of 12 games. I definitely think that. I mean, that's their first win since the second game of the season.
Aye,
I think they're a better
good for them. It's good for them because see, off the back of the cup final disappointment. You know what I mean? You don't want your season to go from bad to worse. So what that gives them now is that focus now, and hopefully that can be a springboard to try and push on and try and get the points to get them up the league. It's
for them who miss a bit of misfortune, but on the other hand, it's a really massive win for Rossvale beating the Rock 2-1. The Rock were 1-0 up in the first half.
Aye, Rossvale have scored. Rossvale have scored a penalty and then scored in the last minute, mate.
That's a huge 3 points for them.
Aye.
I think it's
snippy between Rossvale and the Rock. So it is. There's been a wee rivalry over the years, and now obviously it's Kevin's there's the gaffer, but Kevin's well liked, I think, with the boys at the Rock. But that was a big result for Kevin, the boys at Rossvale, and I seen the goal at the end and that as well, and the celebrations and that. But listen, that's what happens when you get a last minute winner. Do you know what I mean? It's the celebrations are heavy, man. It's loud. So it's a great result for Rossvale, mate.
Yeah, I'm going to let you in on a wee secret. Didn't see it.
Did you know?
Never saw it, surprisingly.
You can't see them all, mate.
I can't, mate. You're right, or any of them apparently. The Rock have only won 1 out of the last 6. They had that right good spell at the start of the season. You particularly know Davey well enough to know that his teams don't really lose a lot of games. I think for me that's their slim chances of promotion gone. But I don't think they're going to be in any danger. I think there's too much quality in that side, too much experience, and in the management team for them to be in any great danger. But it's a wee run that he'd like to end.
See, for me, just in my opinion, I love wee Davey, and see if Davey keeps that Rock team in the league with what he went into in the summer, mate. I think that it's an unreal job. Because I just think that he's had to add players and all that, people were thinking they're going to get relegated and all that. I think if you were to look to where they are now, you would have. I know he's so proud, man. He's so passionate, man. He's a great guy, and I think he'll be hurting more than anybody with a decent bit of form. But one thing's for sure, they've got too many good players, as you say. I think I can see them picking up results and just staying in the leagues. That'll consolidate them, and then it gives David a chance through the summer and that to get them going and add to that as well and be petering that. So I've got no worries about the Rock now, you know what I mean? But their form will turn as well because they're good management team down there.
Aye. We'll move on to the second division, but before we do that, I'm going to go with my charger because the battery's about dying off.
Okay, mate.
Oh man, if I went up the stereo, man, I feel like I get somebody else's legs on.
Hey, I don't know how you done it, to be fair.
Oh, stuff. Right, so we're back. Second division. We'll start with Friday night game, Glasgow Union 0, Renfrew 6. Ardere 2, Ford 0, Perthshire 2, Maryhill 1, Greenock 1, Muircup 2, Kilsyth 1, Yoker 3, Mabel 2, Craigmark 2, The Ants 0, Ashfield 3, Wishaw 3, Glasgow United 2. Renfrew needed that result on Friday night. They've had a great season, hardly lost a game, cup final that they won, but their form's not been anywhere near as good of late. I think the last 6 games, they've won 2, drawn 3 and lost 1. So it's no end of the world stuff, but now they're in a position where Ashfield win their game in hand. Ashfield can go top of the league when it looked like there was not going to be any catching Renfrew. They've only lost 2 games in 17, so it's not exactly crisis around, but that was
many have they lost?
2.
Played 17 games, you say?
Aye.
17 games, you lose 2 games, know what I mean? It's mad to think that they're saying they've went half the boil, know what I mean? But they've went and scored 6 goals with Friday. Divers back amongst the goals. I think he got a hat-trick, but they're a good side, mate. They've won a cup. They're already sitting like top of the league anyway. I know that Ashfield, they've got a game in hand, but it's going to be good. It's going to be tight. You know what I mean? But Jimmy's team are good, man, and they've won something now, so they've got that belief. They've got that see that in a dressing room when you win something together, man. It's just the belief that will keep them on. So that's one thing that Renfrew have in their armoury. But they've got a lot of football to be played. You know what I mean?
Aye, definitely. It was a good one. It's probably what they've needed, a comfortable win without losing.
Clean sheet, mate. Clean sheet. You know what I
mean? On Ashfield, I think that the form that Ashfield are in, people would expect Ashfield to beat the Ants, but the Ants have been excellent this season, and that's the Ants' first defeat at home in the league since October 21.
Unreal, mate.
That's honestly terrifying. That's crazy for anybody to go that long.
Aye, I think firstly before you like say how good a result is for Ashfield, you need to congratulate the Ants on that record. Do you know what I mean? That's no mean feat by any club to do that at home. That's a fortress. Do you know what I mean? And well done to Danny and all his team, and they've made McKenna part the hard place to go to. But for me, that just speaks volumes for how good a result that was for Ashfield. You know what I mean? They've been down there, they've won the game 3-0, kept a clean sheet. Mick, Jamie and that are doing a great job there. Bobby Barr is flying, mate, you know what I mean?
He's I know Bobby Barr's he's 34, same age as me. Be 35 this year. He's getting on in terms of age, but the quality he's got, the level he's played at, the experience he's got, is huge for a club like that.
Oh, that's huge, mate. But see, when I see him putting a tweet about how much he's enjoying his football, that's why he's playing well, mate. Because it doesn't matter what age you know that yourself, PG. You know what I mean? See if you're at a club and you're enjoying it and you're turning up to training and you're turning up to games and you're winning games and it's a good dressing room and you're winning and that, then that's where the form comes from, man. Honestly, I always think people play their best football when they're enjoying their football and they're part of a dressing room that they enjoy being around the people as well. Do you know what I mean? So when all that ticks the boxes, then the good form comes with it, and Ashfield are flying, mate. And I'm buzzing off it because you know my feelings for the club as well. Do you know what I mean? Spent 4 years there and a brief spell as a player too. So really good to see, and I can't speak highly enough of the work that Mick and Jamie and the boys are doing down there. And I just want them to keep it going. Do you know what I mean? I want them to push it all the way. It'd be brilliant to see Ashfield in that championship, mate.
Definitely, that'd be great. Local derby, Perthshire beating Maryhill 2-1. Maryhill won the last 3 games, finding that form that we've said that we think they would find, and they've put themselves in a position now of possibly looking to stay in the league, and it's great to see, because obviously we're pals with Mark. But on Perthshire, that's them. They're sitting 2 points off top of the table. Granted, they've played 4 more games in round through, 2 more than round through, 3 more than Ashfield. That's a ridiculous run of form there in the now. They've picked up 13 points at the last possible 18. That's excellent form for me.
I don't know how Billy continually does it, mate. Honestly, it doesn't. Year in, year out, he gets a team together and he manages to get them so competitive and doing really well. And this season's been no different. They're up there. Do you know what I mean? Albeit they've maybe played 4 more games, but to be up there, do you know what I mean? It's a good season. They're winning lots of games of football. That's a great result, because Mark's team had been flying. They'd been playing some good stuff, because some of their goals that they've been putting out as well, you can see what they're trying to do, and you can see that they're flying. They beat Renfrew as well, do you know what I mean? And they were scoring goals for fun. So that just shows you what a result that is for the Shire. Don't get me wrong, the Shire's always a hard place to go to. But Martin, I think they've got Ardrossan next week, which is a big one, because one guy I'm buzzing for is big Shawnee boy doing at Ardrossan, mate. Because he was due a good win, you know what I mean?
The thing is, that's a great one as well, because Ardrossan have had a really hard season.
And 4th are doing really well, you know what I mean?
Ardrossan lost the last 5 before yesterday. 4th have kind of been in decent enough form. They're a tough team to beat, like you said. That's a huge win, 2-0, and again a clean sheet, which is really important. That win took them out of the relegation zone yesterday as well.
I seen somewhere, but that was sorry, mate.
No,
I think I had seen somewhere that had been Ardrossan's first home game in like September or something, and that would have been a good decent atmosphere down there, because that fourth mad squad would have been out and getting behind the team, and that's always worth its weight in gold as well, because that the push that gives the players and the energy it gives the players, you know what I mean? I really do believe that players feed off the energy that the fans give them and all, do you know what I mean? And it's a great result for them, and it's something that they can use to kickstart. So that'll be a good game for them next week against Maryhill, a big game at that.
Aye, definitely a cracking game. Mabel 2, Craigmark 2. Craigmark had a tremendous start to the season, and then they kind of wavered a bit, and they've picked up another good bit of form of late. So they'll be disappointed to have dropped 2 points there. Mabel are a really tough team, really hard place to go to, but they've kind of been a bit of a mixed bag for the last maybe 2 months or something. But again, it's a good point for them. Craigmark would have been looking to have got a win there and kept themselves right in touching distance, which they're only 5 points after them through a game in hand, so they're nowhere near even out yet. But it's a game that I'd like to have a couple of points merit.
Don't think I can add much more value to that, PG, mate.
Mate. At the bottom of the table, Wishaw beating Glasgow United 3-2. Glasgow United, they've only won 2 out of 16 games, 1 draw, 13 defeats. I know they're in a proper transition period now. For me, there's absolutely no chance of them staying up. It's too much an ask for robbing the team. It's a shame for them, because they started off what looked like they were going to be not too bad this season, maybe a mid-table type team, and it's just the arses fell at it for them. But it's a massive win for Wishaw, because they need the points after 4 straight defeats.
Aye. It's good for Dunny. It's good for Dunny in that. Do you know what I mean? Because he's had a couple of wee slow ones the last couple of weeks, and that one, that's a good one for them. Do you know what I mean? A good one to win. But I've definitely what you're saying, Glasgow United, disappointing for them, and they'll be hurting. Do you know what I mean? Their ambitions are to be doing that end of the league, and but what they'll do is they'll keep working, and they'll keep working hard behind the scenes, and whether it's for this season or next. But I always think that start putting points up this season, try and finish the season as strong as you can, try and pick up as much as you can, because that can always take you momentum into the following season.
It helps you keep players as well that you maybe
Yeah.
Coolside 1, Yoker 3. Two teams sitting kind of mid-table-ish, both looking quite safe. Yoker have had a good wee run. They kind of started really strongly, fell right out of it and came back, and that's 3 wins in the bounce for them. Coolside, that's their first defeat in 6, so they'll be a bit disappointed with that, but it's been another, it's a team who have fair picked up since the new management have come in.
Aye, Coolsafe have picked up, and I think they'll continually get better with Carlo, do you know what I mean? Once he gets a chance to get next season, a pre-season under his belt and get more of his own players in, but Gordon's done a right good job at Yoker, mate. Right good job at Yoker, and take hats off to him because gets to a Scottish Cup final last year, and the team's looking very, very comfortable this year in the league, do you know what I mean? So I think he deserves a lot of credit because he's had to lose a lot of his better players and on the summer and that there and at the start of this season as well. So hats off to them, and Yoker are doing well, and they're a tough team for any team to beat in the league.
Aye, another one which was really important was Muir's Cup beating Greenock 2-1. 10 men for most of the game, still managerless. That was a big win for them. Greenock, no spoken to Nixon. They're kind of having a really tough spell with their side so young. We've touched on it before. But that's a big one for Muir Cup because if Greenock win that, they're sitting on 21 points. Now they're sitting on 18, only 2 points clear of relegation. And Muir Cup take themselves on to 21, 5 clear of relegation, which is an important one for them.
Surely whoever's been taking Muir Cup in the short term should have a chance of getting the job because their results have been decent, man.
They've only lost 1 out of the last 4 or 5 since Kev left. So, only lost 1 out of the last 4 or 5. 1, 2, and drawn 2.
So whoever's been in charge, I think it's been the goalie, mate. The boy Nathan, the goalie. I'm sure it's been, but
Scott Steedman's been helping take the team as well.
They gave a bit of continuity, so in my opinion, that they should be front runners for the job. I know that Muirkirk will have people applying for the job, but I think that they both should be front runners because they've gave stability and they're doing well.
But that's the thing, I touched on it with...
Give young boys a chance that are already there.
Agree. I touched on it with Largs when we were talking about the form that they're in. That kind of picking up 10 points out of, say, 5, 6 games or whatever. Muirkirk in the last 6 have picked up 11 points. That's form that keeps you in the league. Definitely keeps you in the league. Yeah. Like you say, that's the boys that have been there are the ones who have added to that form. Just looking at the table, this is actually quite an interesting league. You're looking at, I think it's a 2-horse race between Renfrew and Ashfield to win it. No saying that Craig Mark can't come back in, no at all. But to me, I think it'll be between the two of them. But you're looking for that promotion spot, the 3rd place. You get Perthshire on 33 points, Craig Mark on 30, Yoker on 28, the Ants on 28, both on 28. Mabel get 25, but they've got like 3 or 4 games in hand on everybody. That's going to be so tight, but on the flip side, everybody's been 9 down is in a potential relegation battle, so that league is very, very interesting.
Every game, and then everybody's going to need the points as much as anybody else for their own battles and their own aspirations. So it's going to be good viewing. Definitely.
Right, move on to Division 3. Ardrossan 1, Irvine Vics 2, Dorai 1, Kilwinning 3, Lanark 3, Kello 0, Luger 2, Royal Albert 1, Newmains 0, Girvan 3, Port Glasgow 4, East Kilbride 1, Saltcoats 2, Lesmehago 4, Vela Clyde 2, Vela Leven 1. Top of the table battle, Ardrossan and Irvine Vics. Absolute cracker. Irvine Vics coming away with a win. Ardrossan will be disappointed. Irvine Vics will be absolutely delighted.
I think Irvine Vics get beat last week, didn't they?
So
for them to bounce back against one of the teams up there, do you know what I mean? It's massive for them, and it's a great win for Vics, and that tap of that league is a belter in it.
Aye, because you're saying Irvine Vics lost last week. That was last week was their 17th game of the season, and that was their first defeat since the first game of the season.
That's what I mean. So it was their first defeat in 16 or something then. So imagine they went and lost to Ardrossan and it was 2 defeats in the spin. So for them to bounce back, it's been brilliant character for the players and for Dougie and that, do you know what I mean? And that's a big result, because I looked at that Ardrossan team for Saturday as well. I looked at the lineup today and I'm like, you've got some top players there, mate. Top players. So for anybody to turn them out, do you know what I mean? Has to be on form. And listen, we've went to watch Irvine Vics, and they're a good side as well, and they're organised, and they've got a great support there as well. And again, as I was just saying just there, the energy that support gives to the players as well in the tight games, mate, that's just a wee factor that can get you over the line as well. So well done to them. That's a big 3 points, and as I said, the top of that table's very tasty.
Well, you look, Lanark got a 3-0 win against Kello. Kello, we've spoken about it recently. A tremendous start, falling away. But I think for Kello, the fact that they're looking at being a top 7 or 8 team in that league is a good season for them to maybe go and build on next year.
Kello's start's been brought up a really good blessing for them, because it just means when you get through that stuttery bit, it's still, you don't get dragged into something that you don't want to be in. It just keeps you away from that.
The issue you've got in this league as well, 6 teams good in this season.
Yeah, that's how I think Kello still had a really good season.
Oh, aye. Well, Kello sitting in 8th place, played 17, won 9, drawn 1, lost 7. Still got a plus goal difference as well. But on Lanark, that was a good win for them. They have played 20 games, takes them to the top of the league, 49 points. Ardrossan are sitting with 22 games on 47. And you get Vela Clyde beating Vela Leaving yesterday. A tight affair, but it looks it. But again, they're another team who, great form. I'm looking at all the top teams. The top 5, they've all lost like one game at the last 5 or 6. So it's everybody's winning. They're not really playing each other now. So it'll be quite interesting when they all start playing against each other.
That's why that Irvine Vics v Ardrossan, see when the other teams they all play each other, see the team that can come out top most of their games is going to be the team that pips the league. But Vela Clyde, I know, as you say, Vela Clyde have shown what a good side there this season, and fully backed them to be up there, and that was another win for them on Saturday. And they've got a tight unit as well. You know what I mean? They've got good players there, but Big McDivitt's playing with them, you know what I mean? And Robbie Peebles and that, and Don Scott. So they've got good players, and they've got some young boys in there as well. So I think they'll be right up there and all. But it's good viewing, man. It's good for anybody that's interested in just West of Scotland in general, or any of the teams, mate. That's going to be a brilliant run-in.
Because they're all, like I said, they're all such good form. Even like Les Mahego, who had a great start, fell away, coming right back at it now. That's 5 wins in a bounce for them after beating Saltcoats 4-2 yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, they've played, when you look at it, I'll go through it, right? Like I said, Lanark played 20, 49 points. Ardrossan played 22, 47. Vela Clyde played 18 on 43. Irvine Vics played 18 on 42. Les Mahego played 19 on 41. And I'll go as far as Lark Hall, who have played 16 on 35. You could be looking at any of the top 6 giving themselves a right good chance of winning that league. And you've got 6 teams who are going to fight out for the top 3.
Aye.
It's going to be very interesting.
I'd struggle to pick a winner out of that, because, as you say, Lanark's form is very good, and I don't know. I actually don't know. For a neutral, mate, it's good, mate. Not what I mean?
I definitely agree with you. It's going to be so tight. Port Glasgow beating East Kilbride 4-1. The Port have had a very mixed bag this season, but of late they've won 4 at the last 6. Stevie's starting. We always say that Stevie's starting to put his mark on the team, and now they're getting results. They're sitting in 7th place, played 23 games, so they're not going to go up. But at the same time, they're absolutely no danger of going down either. And I think that for the Port, that's a good first season for Stevie and Davey and Elsa and Big Abu to look to push on next season for them.
Aye, they'll be. I think they'll be right up there next season. They'll be one of my contenders for next season for sure.
I think you might be right. East Kilbride on the flip side, for us, it's a bit of a sore one. They've not won any of the last 4, losing 3. But again, they're a team who I think they're in a good enough position that they could be all right. They're 9 points clear of relegation at the moment. But in that relegation, Royal Albert are gone, Saltcoats are gone, New Mains. It might be a bit of a stretch for them. But then you've got Carluke, huge win over Ardrossan at the weekend, 3-1. Baylor leaving, whose form has really picked up, drawn too many games for me, but have really picked up and they've given themselves a chance. And Luger, another team, winning at the weekend, keeping themselves just in the hunt to stay up.
Aye, as you say, with 6 games down, mate, that becomes a right good ding-dong battle down the Botany League as well. So a lot of people will be watching that just as much as they'll be watching the Tapia and it.
Oh, mate, we said it last year that this year would be the most exciting, and I don't even feel like it's got to that stage yet. But see, when it gets to late March and April, everything's going to be so important, and because the teams are so close to each other that a few bad results and you could be looking at a top 5 spot, and then you're in the relegation zone. You know what I mean? It's going to be so tight.
Every 3 points could be huge, mate. See, even any point you could pick up. See, like if you're losing a game 1-0 and you get a last minute equaliser, not how huge any point could be in that league to stay up, know what I mean? Or even win it.
Aye, it's going to be huge, and it's good. It's what you need for this level. It keeps a good interest as well. I actually seen a stat the other day there. It was the other day. For Scottish football per capita is the best attended football in Europe by, and it's by an absolute mile as well. See, like when you look at even the lower leagues, they pretty well. But see, if you were to bring in West of Scotland League and the East and the Highland League and all that, the amount of people are going out and watching football, because you particularly you look at yourselves. What roughly do you think the crowd would have been?
Good crowd, mate. I think I'd say probably between I don't know, just after that, probably about 700.
Yeah, I mean, the Drum Wednesday night, and the Drum's not a hugely supported side. Wednesday night playing the Rock, 356 people at it, and you saw in my video I put on how horrific the weather was. It's great that people are getting out and supporting their local teams. It's the numbers that you're seeing at games. That's the last couple of games I've been at. The crowds have been excellent. Like even that cup final with Whitlets and Renfrew, over 1,000 people at it.
I think that more people are getting back into lower league football, and I like it, mate, because the affordability, mate, with the cost of living crisis, mate, it's ideal.
You're seeing enough good football that people want to go and watch it, but at the same level, there's a lot of mistakes in it, so it's interesting because you'll see lots of goals.
Because teams and all like the runs at clubs in the West and that have been on in the Scottish Cup and getting games televised, and teams in that can see what the standards like and how well ran they are, and even just going to these places, you know what I mean? And then even other podcasts and vlogs all do great jobs, you know what I mean? Promoting it, mate.
Excellent, man. But we'll move on to Division 4. Campbelltown 0, St Peters 3, Easterhouse 4, Threave 0, Glenvale 2, Eglinton 1, Kilsyth 6, Rossville 0, Thorn 1, Harney-Row 0, West Park 3, BSC 0. My result of the day, Easterhouse 4, Threave 0. Not in a million years would I have predicted that. Easterhouse have been out looking for players because they've been really struggling recently, putting on social media. Threave, after their blip of losing to St Peters, Kilsyth and West Park, started to fire right back, had won 5 in the bounce, were looking really strong, put St Cadoc's out the cup. I would not have had Easterhouse putting 4 past Threave without losing a goal. Result of the day for Martin McGuire.
Aye, mate, 100%, definitely. Right up there, result of the day as well. Wouldn't have seen that coming. I don't know if they must have put out looking for players. They must have had they must have go up, man. They must have got a wee intake.
I know.
I think Mark knows others are players, but I think the hard thing for him to get to know is all the players will be signed with clubs already. Do you know what I mean? So I think once he gets a chance to work his magic in the summer, and that they'll be a force in that Division 4. But what a result that is! Do you know what I mean? That they've turned it on big time in that game, because Threave and all are sitting talking. I seen something about them saying how they think that they can compete in the couple of divisions above. It's not as simple as that. This is what I'm saying about this level. It is not as simple as this. Every division poses its own problems. And I think for Threave as well, travelling is a massive issue.
We spoke about it with Campbelltown. I appreciate it's a bit different. Threave have a bit more, they're an established team, have got a bit more financial muscle than Campbelltown to But that travelling—it's got to take it out of players every second week. It's got to take it out of them.
It just shows you, because Threave have went and beat Whitlets and they've went and beat St Cadoc's, and then now they've been beat off Easterhouse, man. So it does show you anybody can beat anybody in any given day. Do you know what I mean? This is just the beauty of the West of Scotland League, mate.
And we've spoken about it as well. You know, I'm not going to lie. I don't think anybody champions the 4th division like we did. We talk about it at length and we praise it so much. Threave saying that last week, and Threave's a team I really want to get to see. I'm really looking forward to getting down and seeing them at some point. But Threave saying that, they are a good side, and I think they would manage in the 3rd division. I think don't think they'd win it, but I think they'd manage in that division, no hassles. But you're looking at Kilside, drawn 1 game out of 18, won 17. West Park lost 1 out of 15, won 14. St Peter's, like Kilside, are a ridiculously young team. I mean, St Peter's could play in the under-20s league, basically, because that's basically that they moved their 20s up with a couple of older players in there. These are good sides. The Thorn are starting to come into a bit.
No, but that is what they get. That is, I think it was an assistant manager. I think that's what he was saying. He was saying like 7 or 8 teams could play in the higher divisions, and they fully back Threave to play 2 divisions above and do really well in that. But I don't think as many of the teams in that league could go and do it in 2 divisions above. I think you've got your Kilsyth and West Parts and that, but I don't know, and Threave, but I don't know about it.
I think, see if I was being honest, I think Threave could survive in that 2nd division. Kilsyth and West Park as well. I think St Peter's would do alright in the 3rd division, but I don't think they're ready for a 2-league jump or anything like that. But you're even looking at BSC, Easterhouse, Rossvale winning a third of their games. They're decent enough teams that once they get established at this level, I honestly think next year will be really good for the 4th division. With the 6 teams coming down, you're going to have a 15-team league, possibly a 16-team league if somebody else gets added in, which I think
100%. I think we have championed Division 4 and saying how better it is and how we're talking about it. But when you're still looking at it, it's a 2-horse race, isn't it, man? It's still very much between Kilsyth and West Park. But one thing's for sure, it's been a much better watch and it's been a much more things to talk about rather than playing the same team 6 times during the season, man.
I tell you what, see if I'm Brian at Fanart, I'm so glad I got out of that league last year.
Aye.
Because how hard would it be for them to go out there this year?
I think that they still would have gave Brian, but I know what you're saying. It's no the same thing as what it was the first season, where it was a bit of a non-entity, really, man. But it was only between them and Kilsyth. But it's a good league, mate, and the battle at the top between Kilsyth and West Park's proving a right good watch for the neutral. But it's good because they 2 consistency levels has been unreal.
It'd be nice if when Kilsyth and West Park played each other, maybe a wee Friday night game that we could get down to, because that
would be good as a Friday night game, because I think that the way that the 2 clubs are hopefully getting back to their communities a wee bit more, and I think that they would get a decent turnout for that. Do you know what I mean?
I think it'd be a cracker. Moving on to San Pedro's 3-0 Campbelltown away. That's it's a good result for them. It's always hard to go to Campbelltown. Campbelltown have only won 1 out of 16. I have heard absolutely nothing, but I really hope that Campbelltown are able to keep going at this level, because it must be so financially difficult for them getting players to travel all the time. They've only got 6 points out of 16 games. It's been a really, really tough season for them. But St Peter's will be happy to go there, get the win. 3 wins in the bounce for them as well.
Get in there, mate. Get your 3 points. Get on that bus. Spark a beer, mate. Happy days.
Aye. Glenvale team spoke about as well, having a really tough season. That was a big 3 points for them against Eglinton, who I think have had a hard start, but I think Eglinton have done better than I predicted them to do. I thought they would be rock bottom of the table. I seen on Twitter that they had a man sent off. That's 2 weeks in a row, and I think that's maybe hampered them a wee bit, so they'll be disappointed. But it's a really good 3 points for Glenvale.
Mm-hmm. No, brilliant 3 points for them, because as you say, they've had their struggles this season. Do you know what I mean?
Aye. The Thorn beating Harmony Row 1-0. Harmony Row seem to be picking up. They're not really getting a lot of points, but they're picking up. The Thorn, that was a good one for them after they've had a wee up and down spell. They'll be happy with that win. Top 2, Kilsyth 6-0 against Rossvale Academy. West Park 3-0 against BSC. It's like you say that it's a 2-horse race between the two of them. They're just no letting up at all.
No. Something's going to have to give for one of them to win the league, and it's probably going to come down to the game against each other.
Aye, I think so, mate. I think so. But look, we'll wrap it up there. That was quite a long one tonight. That was an hour we went for that. But before we finish up, sadly, due to work and your football commitments, we can't make the Darvel and Falkirk game, which by the time this is out, it's tonight. I'll be watching it in the telly. I'll be chanting for Darvel. See, even if they don't do it, it's been the most incredible run that they've had. I actually think this is a harder game for them than the Aberdeen game.
I think so, mate. I do think so.
It's Falkirk will 100%. Not that Aberdeen wouldn't have done a wee bit of homework on them, but Aberdeen would have thought they were going to get through and beat them. Falkirk won't make that mistake. I know Falkirk had them watching a couple of times. They'll know them very well. Falkirk have brought in quite a few players in January. They're kind of looking a wee bit more sound themselves in the league. But Darvel can beat them as well. I think it would be really tough for them, but I think Darvel can beat them if they really go for it.
It's tougher now for Darvel because now there's a media, and because of the media and all that and everything that surrounded it, and it's quite rightly so, mate, because it's the best result in Scottish Cup history, but that's just added extra fuel to probably Falkirk's fire in it, and just made it that wee bit. I think that wee bit more difficult for Darvel. But listen, who can write Darvel off now, man? Imagine Darvel getting the quarterfinals of the Scottish the way that draws went.
As you're looking at the stage, you're in a place where Celtic, Rangers, Hearts, you know what I mean? Draws like that. I know Darvel have money, so it's not like they don't depend on the money like, say, a team. So if I talk to say Drumchapel beat Elgin and managed to get through against their United, that money would be huge for them, and they've got a wee bit of money as well. But Darvel don't depend on the money. But imagine you go to Park of the Ibrox in the quarterfinals in the Scottish Cup. The money you could make for that, Mick could open more restaurants, you know what I mean?
Yeah, listen, watch this, mate. Right, this is Mick's team talk.
Look where Paul your arse there. On you go.
BBC camera, you on? Sons up Darvel. I am Mick Kennedy. Mick Kennedy was 7 feet tall, so it's short blinding balls with his arse. I can't wait to hear his team talk, mate, honestly. But listen, all the best to Darvel. We're backing them, we're supporting them, and I hope that they can get the job done. It would be amazing to see. But as you say, PG, so proud of what they've done as a West side, mate.
I'll quote Mick Kennedy to finish. To the Darvel boys, well, tonight, look to your brothers, look to your family, look to the next round. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you later.